We're going to show you how Texas Hold'em really works.
Exactly. You brought in a source from Poker Wake Up, and our plan is to walk you through the basics so you can actually follow what's going on in a typical game.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to walk through it step by step, from the dealing to, well, the end, showdown or not. What matters first is the structure.
All right, the game is played with 2 to 10 players, and right at the center of it all is the dealer button. It's a little chip that moves one seat to the left each round, and it decides who's up next.
Today. Got it. But before any cards are dealt, there are those forced bets, right?
Exactly. The blinds. Those are forced bets. The player directly to the left of the dealer button posts the small blind.
Mm-hmm.
And the one to their left posts the big blind, usually twice the size of the small blind.
And what's the point of that?
Well, it's to make sure there's something in the pot right from the start. Otherwise, everyone could just wait forever until they get amazing cards. It just brings a bit of action to the table right away.
True, makes sense. Okay, the blinds are in. What happens next?
Then each player gets 2 cards face down. Only they can see them. Those are called the whole cards.
Basically, their starting hand.
Exactly. And now the first betting round begins. That's the pre-flop round. The player to the left of the big blind goes first.
And what are their options?
So, 3 things. They can call, also known as limping, which means they match the amount of the big blind. Or they can raise, putting in more than the big blind. Or they say, nah, my cards are trash, and fold, meaning they're out of the hand.
Call, raise, fold, the classics. And then it goes around the table.
Yeah, exactly. It goes around until everyone has either folded or matched the same amount. So everyone's even in the pot. But if all the other players fold before that, the last remaining player wins the pot immediately, no matter what cards they have. That could be the big blind, for example, if everyone folds before it gets back to them. Or maybe someone raised and no one wants to call. Then the pot goes straight to them. Only if 2 or more players are still in after the betting is done and the bets are matched, we move on to what's called the post-flop stage.
All right, got it. So let's say someone called the big blind, and the big blind didn't raise, just checked.
Okay, once that round is done, we get to the flop.
The flop, that's the community cards, right?
They're dealt face up in the middle, and now every player can use them together with their 2 whole cards.
Ah, okay. Now it's starting to get interesting. You can actually see what might be possible.
Exactly. And right away, the second betting round begins. This time, the first active player to the left of the dealer button goes first. In our example, that would be the big blind, since he's closest to the button.
And now there's a new option, or so I've heard.
Yeah, everyone can check now. If no one has bet before you in this round, you can just say, I'll pass, I'll wait and see. That's called checking. Basically, you're not putting any chips in.
But as soon as someone places a bet, that's called a bet, you have to respond. So it's either call, raise, or fold. Checking is no longer an option. Got it. Check, bet, call, raise, fold. Those are the options after the flop.
Correct. Once that round's done, the next card is dealt, the turn.
The fourth community card.
Exactly. Face up in the middle again. And what comes next?
Let me guess, another betting round.
Correct. Once that correct. Bingo! Same principle as after the flop. Starts again with the first active player to the left of the dealer. Check, bet, call, raise, fold.
The pot's probably getting bigger by now.
If bets are being made, yeah. And the decisions usually get tougher too. You really have to start figuring out how strong your hand actually is, or whether you're still hoping for that last card.
The final card, that would be the
river, the 5th and final community card, also dealt face up in the middle.
All right, now all 5 community cards are on the table.
Right. And now comes, drum roll, the final betting round. Last chance to bet, raise, or fold.
And if at least 2 players are still in after that,
then it's time for the showdown.
Cards on the table.
Exactly. Everyone still in the hand turns over their 2 whole cards, and then you see who's got the best 5-card poker hand. You make that hand by combining your 2 whole cards with the 5 community cards. You can use 0, 1, or both of your whole cards. In this case, the big blind wins because his pair of 4s beats a pair of 2s.
Okay, but what's the best hand, actually? There's got to be some kind of ranking, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a fixed ranking. At the very top, and super rare, the royal flush. That's ace, king, queen, jack, 10, all in the same suit. It always has to be the highest possible straight in one suit. Statistically, you'll only get this hand once every 200,000 hands. So yeah, extremely rare.
Wow, that really is insanely rare. It's pretty much like winning the lottery.
Yeah, exactly. Next is the straight flush. That's a straight, all in the same suit.
And what if both players have a straight flush?
If both players have a straight flush, then of course the higher straight wins. Next is four of a kind. If two players have quads, the higher set wins.
And what if the four of a kind is on the board?
Then the player with the higher kicker wins. So if you're holding a king and I've got a queen, you take the pot. If we both have the same kicker, the pot is split between us. Next comes the full house, basically a combination of three of a kind or a set, plus a pair. Like in this example, 3 aces and 2 kings.
Let me guess, a higher full house beats a lower one, right?
Exactly. And if both players have the same full house, the pot gets split again. What comes next, you probably already know. The flush. That's 5 cards of the same suit, simple as that. The difference here is, they don't need to be in any particular order. It's all about the suit, not the sequence.
But the card values do matter again if both players have a flush, right?
Exactly, a good catch. That's right. If both players have a flush, the one with the highest card wins. So a king high flush beats a 10 high flush. Next up is the straight. You've already seen this one in the straight flush. But now, with a regular straight, the suits don't matter. It's simply 5 cards in a row, but in different suits.
Are there, like in other games, big and small straights here too?
Nope, that doesn't exist in poker. A hand only counts as a straight if all 5 cards are in a continuous sequence. 3 of a kind means you've got 3 cards of the same rank. Like in this example, 3 aces and 2 random kickers. As always, if multiple players have a set, the one with the higher 3 of a kind wins. Or, if those are the same, the kickers decide.
Speaking of 3 of a kind, what's actually the difference between a set and a 3 of a kind? I've always wondered that.
That's a really important point, and one that gets confused all the time, even though both have the same hand strength. With a 3 of a kind, you're holding one of the cards, and the other 2 are on the board. With a set, you're holding 2 of the 3 in your hand. Like here in this example, you've got ace-ace in hand, and another ace hits the board. That also means no one else at the table can have the same set. Another big advantage is that your hand strength is much better hidden, which means you've got a better chance of getting paid, especially if one of your opponents has also connected with the board or is trying to bluff you out of the pot. Next up is a hand with 2 pairs. And just like always, the higher 2 pairs beat the lower ones. And if both players have the same 2 pairs, then once again,
Oh, let me guess. The kicker?
That's exactly right. Now we've got the 1 pair. With that, you beat all hands that didn't hit anything, or any lower pair your opponent might be holding. And finally, there's the situation where neither you nor your opponent hits anything and it goes to showdown. Then it all comes down to the highest card. If you both have the same high card, once again, the kicker decides.
Okay, that all sounds pretty straightforward and easy to follow. But that can't be all there is to it, right?
The real game, the part that makes it so fascinating, comes from something completely different.
What do you mean?
Well, it's about strategy. When do I bet, and how much? How do I read my opponents? Are they nervous? Are they bluffing? What kind of cards might they be holding? It's psychology, probability, the real mind game.
Okay. So just knowing the rules isn't nearly enough.
Not at all. Knowing the rules lets you play, but winning is a whole different story. And that's exactly what makes it so exciting. It's not pure luck, even though luck does play a part.
That's a great point to wrap things up. And now comes the most important part. If you stick with us from here on out, you won't just learn how to play, you'll learn how to win. Our goal? To take you from a complete beginner to a true winning player at the micro and mid-stakes tables, step by step, with clear strategies, psychological insight, and tons of practical knowledge. And the best part? It's all completely free. If you don't want to miss any of it, then hit that subscribe button now. We'll see you in the next episode.
Take care and good luck at the tables. See you next time.